Time to put this political hit job behind us and get back to work for the American people. That man is Congressman Guy Reschenthaler of Pennsylvania. He's joining us live now. Congressman, thanks for joining us. How do we get back to that moving forward now with so much divide we see between the parties?
Right. It's really sad to see how much division there really is. But we have to remember this whole impeachment fiasco was a failed political hit job. It was political from the start. Now that this is behind us, it's time to start working what really matters for the American people. So I'm a big supporter of criminal justice reform. I've got a bill called Clean Slate that would help those with a nonviolent federal offense, wipe that from the record, help them get back in the workforce, really strengthen the economy. We could work on transportation and infrastructure, fix our crumbling roads and bridges. We can work on improving our locks and dams, what we have a lot of in Western Pennsylvania. We could also do something about the opioid epidemic that's killing thousands across the United States. And let's not forget, we need to do something about prescription drug prices. Last year was the first year that I'm aware of that the prices were reduced, that they fell, but we could do more to streamline generic drugs, make sure that the intellectual property around those pharmaceuticals are protected so the American people get more value and we keep a cutting edge on other nations when we're developing our pharmaceuticals. So there's a lot that we can do, and I hope that now impeachment is behind us, we can come together and work on things and get things done.
Yeah, but you know, like we do, here's what's likely to happen. You're going to introduce your bills. You're going to get on the record, well, I tried to do that, and if we want to get it through, you need to elect more Republicans. And then the Democrats are going to put out stuff that may even pass and go over and die in the Senate. Can you tell me how we actually get the parties together to actually pass some of this, to get done with? Because some of the things you're talking about sound like great ideas, but how do you get Nancy Pelosi on board when you've been like this for such a long time?
Well, look, it's absolutely true that a lot of what the Democrats are going to do are play partisan games. But I'm not making excuses for them, but the framers have they created a legislative body with two bodies for a reason. They want to actually slow down legislation. So it's a good thing that we are deliberative and thoughtful. But I can tell you this, what we can really do is we can work to elect more Republicans in 2020, work to take back the House, because something tells me that Speaker McCarthy is going to be a lot more productive than Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So I'm working for that too. But in the meantime, we still need to work on bipartisan solutions. And we have a myriad of issues from, like I said, criminal justice reform, transportation infrastructure, lowering the cost of prescription drugs. There's a lot that we can agree on, but we're still going to be focused on taking back the House.
President Trump earlier today in his, quote, victory speech had talked about 2 congressional seats won by the Republicans earlier, which you don't see a lot of headlines about. But there are others, and I know, Reschenthaler, you're talking about moving forward in tackling those subjects, but there are others that want to focus more on the investigation into President Trump. We know that they want to push forward on investigation. There's all this talk about subpoenaing John Bolton coming back here. Real quick, 20 seconds left. How do you combat that?
Well, look, we have to look at what happened with the investigation leading up to President Trump. The rumors and speculation that led to the Trump team being investigated. None of the Trump members were given what's called defensive briefings, that they were being the targets of espionage and spying. That's problematic. So I'd like to see investigations into the cabal, the top echelon of the FBI that weaponized that law enforcement agency against a political opponent. That really concerns me. So I think that needs to be investigated.
Guy Reschenthaler, Congressman, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.